Alright, welcome back to another tutorial. And for this one, I want to talk about another control statement, another logic statement. That's called the switch block. So I'll demonstrate that here in just a moment. Let's create a new class and right-click the project, go to a new class, and we'll call this days. And here we go. So I'm going to hit finish. And okay, so one last time, and then I'll show you the shortcut next training, next video. Public static void main string args, and then in here. Okay, so here we're going to execute different block of code based on the value of a condition. Okay, so what we want to do is say we'll have a string day of week. Okay, so depending on whatever this variable is, the value is, we're going to execute a different statement. Just like the weather, right? We did an if statement here, but we'll see that this is a unique scenario. So the statement's going to look like this. So we're going to switch the day of week. And now we're going to enter this switch block. So first of all, let's define this. We'll say this is Tuesday. Okay, so we're going to enter this block. And so the switch statement has one block, whereas if you see the if statement has each separate if, else if is its own block within curly braces. Now the switch is one block, and then we have different cases. So we can have case, let's say case is Monday. So if day of week is Monday, then we're going to say system out dot print. We'll say today is Monday. Okay, I'm going to run this, and nothing's going to happen because day of week is Tuesday, not Monday. So that's the case where day of week is Monday. If we want to test, I'm going to copy this down and say, well, what about if the case is Tuesday? We'll say today is Tuesday, and I'm going to run this. And there we go. So we see that basically we are testing the same variable, day of week, and then we're just having different scenarios, right? So there's a case where it's Monday, there's a case where it's Tuesday. If so, execute different blocks of code. Now that is, you see the difference here between ifs and switch, because if you can have, here we're testing temperature, here we're testing temperature and sun condition, here we're doing less than or greater than, we did or, and so you can have all kinds of combination in if statements. So switch is very specific. It's rotating around one variable, and we can just finish this out here. If this is Wednesday, then we're going to execute Wednesday, and just finish this out here. For example, Thursday, Friday. We'll just say Friday. Okay. Okay, so if we run this now, we're going to see all of these, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So another thing about the switch statement is because this is in one block, once one executes, everything outside of that will also, or everything following will execute. So we saw that Tuesday executed because the case of day of the week was in fact Tuesday. So this was executed to true, and once this executed, then all the other ones fell through. So let me clean this up so it looks maybe a little bit easier to work with, right? So we have this here, and put these all on the same, on different lines. And once again, because Tuesday executed, the rest of the block executed. So if you want to stop that, then you add what's called a break. So a break will get you out of whatever block that you are in. So if you're in an if block, or we'll talk about how we can use break in other scenarios. So if you want to execute something only that one case, then you need to add this break line, this break statement. And now it's just going to execute Tuesday, and then break, and then get out of the block, and then continue on the program. So you can see the advantage of switch blocks. In some ways, it's easier to work with. There's less code. There's less going on. There's confusion. You're always testing the same variable. We don't need to have these all these same conditions. If day of the week equals Monday, if day of the week equals Tuesday. It's always testing the same variable and then always testing the equivalence. And so it can be helpful. It's sometimes used, if statements, again, because they're more versatile. Most people are more familiar with if statements. You'll probably find these more often, but you should be familiar with the switch statement in case you were to run into it in an interview or in some kind of project. You should at least be somewhat familiar with it. So that is the switch statement, and now we know how to control the program based on the values of variables.